All right, Sonnies. Hey, April is National Donate Life Month, a time dedicated to honoring life-saving power of organ, eye, and tissue donation and recognizing that everyday heroes who say yes to saving lives. Today, we're honored, so honored to have my buddy Jessica Scheidler Grossberg here today, Public Education Coordinator for LifeQuest Organ Recovery Services. Jessica works closely with hospitals, families, and the community to educate, support, and inspire people to understand the profound impact of organ donation. This conversation is about hope, clarity, and life-changing ripple effects. She also has a special guest that she's bringing on today, too. Jessica, welcome to Sunny TV.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
I'm so happy to be here because we have these wonderful chats every single year, and it's so important because we have new guests on watching us every single time. So talk to us a little bit about what you do and the importance of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are the organ procurement organization here in North Florida. So we do everything from the moment the person passes away all the way till the person receiving that transplant and everything in between. My job specifically is to go out into the community and educate people about organ donation and the power you have to actually save lives.
That's amazing. And it's pretty rewarding, too. How long have you been doing this?
5 years.
Oh my God, congratulations.
Yeah, thank
That's
you.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So talk a little bit about LifeQuest and how you've connected with the community and maybe some testimonials of some success stories.
Yeah, so I am everywhere out in the community talking to high school students who just get their driver's license or right before, so they understand when they get their license, you're going to get asked this question, do you want to be an organ donor? What does that even mean? College students, nurses that are going into the career so they understand, you might see us in the hospital. How will that look when you have this real job?
Mm-hmm.
And then the community as a whole
Right.
of when was the last time you talked about organ donation? Have you thought about organ donation at all? And what does that look like for you and your family?
I mean, most times people talk about organ donation, right, Mel? It's like when we're getting our driver's license or something,
Yeah,
right?
I am an organ donor.
God bless me too.
Yeah. So and I always see stories on TV about like somebody, their son or somebody, passed away and they got an organ, and then years later they meet the person who got the organ.
Right,
It's like,
yeah.
oh. But my question is, with being an organ donor, all I know is I checked yes on a driver's license and I got it on the thing.
Right.
What's the process of, so let's just say, God fearing that I get in an accident.
God bless
okay?
you.
Yeah.
And what's the process then that your organization comes in, and how do you vet the
And
organs?
assesses this organ
yeah,
situation.
and then how does it
yeah.
work from there? Like, I want to know how the ins and outs work.
Yeah, absolutely. So everyone thinks that, I check this box, I'm automatically going to be an organ donor. And that's actually not the case. There's a 1% chance you'll die in the way to donate your organs.
Oh.
So 99% of us will never be an organ donor.
Okay.
You have to have that brain death, brain injury, but then you also have to be on life support in the hospital,
Okay.
that ventilator. So it's pumping blood and oxygen to your organs. So if you die in the car accident, you're not donating anything.
Oh.
So let's say you get in this accident, head hits the steering wheel, you've got some sort of brain injury, you're alive, ambulance gets you to the ER, same thing, everyone's on board to help. They see how big this injury is, they put you on that life support. Unfortunately, injury's too big, you do pass away. When that happens, 2 Florida doctors have to declare a person brain dead or no longer alive, so 15 to 20 tests they run on the body to say, you are no longer with us, and they call the OPO. They call LifeQuest. They go, hey, someone died in this very specific way, but we don't know if they registered or not to be an organ donor. The hospital system doesn't look at that. They don't have access.
Okay.
So we come in, and the first thing we do is we talk to the family. I'm so sorry for your loss, but if you're a registered organ donor, we'll move forward with that. Yes. If you're not a registered organ donor, we talk to the family. Family decides yes or no.
Okay.
And if you're under the age of 18, parents make the final call regardless of anything.
Okay.
So, you're an organ donor, you say yes to donation, we move forward with it. We come out and we test all your organs. We want to see if they're healthy or not. You look healthy. Everything
Right.
could be totally fine. You might have a terrible liver, a pancreas. We don't know. We test it. If it's healthy, we are able to donate it. If it's not healthy, we leave it where it is.
Right.
Huh. Interesting.
So, Jessica, introduce us to Cassie. Cassie, you've had such an incredible journey. How did you all come together and talk about a little bit about your relationship with each other?
So Cassie, I want to say it's been 2 years, 3 years years.
Yeah.
She found me wanting to volunteer with LifeQuest.
Amazing.
And has been out in the community a handful of times with me, sharing her impactful story about receiving a transplant.
Yes. My name's Cassie, and I had a bilateral lung transplant 28 years ago.
God bless.
And if someone wouldn't have been an organ donor, I wouldn't be here. So I was transplanted when I was 17, and the life expectancy for lung transplant patients, give or take, is 6 to 10 years. So many people surpass that. There's a very small percentage that have made it 25 to 30 years. So I'm in a little bit of a gray area in life. But when I was in high school, I was sick for a couple years. Then after testing and we pretty much exhausted all options, and I got to the point where I wasn't moving any air around in my lungs. So I got on a transplant list in Gainesville, Florida, and I was on the list for 6 months. Was on 100% oxygen 24 hours a day, bedridden.
Wow.
And it got to be close to the end. We got a call that there were lungs available. We went to Gainesville, and it winded up being a dry run, which is when they think the lungs or the organs are going to work, but for various reasons, they don't. And you know going into this that that's a possibility.
Okay, yeah. Just so much hope is in your heart. You know what I mean? And that's just earth-shattering. So you do have that in your head that it may just be a dry run. Got it.
Yes, I mean, I was, prepped with betadine all over me,
Yeah.
thinking this was going to be it. And because I was so young, they wanted me to have 2 lungs. This time it was only 1 lung that was available. So we went back home, and I mean, I got a lot sicker. And then 2 weeks later, we got the call, and that's when I received 2 lungs.
God
50
bless.
staples, multiple chest tubes. But I was in the hospital for 5 days afterwards. I was on a bike after 3 days.
God
my
sakes,
goodness.
really? Good
That's
for
insane.
you.
Oh my God.
And then I have stayed alive 28 years later.
Oh my
So,
God.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What is it like to know that somebody's organs has completely given you a second life almost?
I mean, it's a matter of someone making one decision
Yeah.
or not making that decision.
Yeah.
And it becomes life or death for someone. So I don't think I realized even the gravity of it. And even with Jessica, some of this stuff about, I didn't even realize that, you have to be brain dead. And I kind of had some misconceptions about how organs are.
All of us,
Yeah, we all
did.
Which is why I'm so grateful for both of your times today, because this is such an important conversation. So, Jessica, talk to the meaning of when you see this personally, when a family gets an opportunity for this a second wind at life. Like, what is this like on your end?
It's amazing getting to see so many people that are here
Oh,
living
Cassie,
their life.
what a story! It's so amazing.
And it's not just you're saving one life, you're saving the family and the friends and the community.
Yeah.
Like it ripples out into so many people that, yes, you are saving a life in 28 years of living and marriage and kids and all the whole spectrum. But then it's all those people involved as well.
Exactly.
That makes
So-
it so cool.
Let me ask you this. If there's somebody out there, because I have a very close friend of mine, her name is Carrie Burke, and she's watching today. She's been on the transplant list for a kidney for a very, very long time. Is there a way people can reach out to you or LifeQuest and say, hey, I've been on this list, just as another additional resource, like what would you say to people that are in Carrie's situation?
Yeah.
So sadly, with the way the list works, we can't do anything specifically for your friend, for someone that's on the list.
Okay.
The way that it works is it's a big national thing. So sickest person's at the top of the list. They need, you said a kidney. They need that kidney more than anybody else in the U.S. Well, there's 3 criteria to determine who's the match. So if someone dies, who matches your friend? So they're looking at blood type, body size, and location.
Okay.
So the blood type, easy pass one person to the other. The body size, because we're all different sizes, our organs are different
I
sizes.
didn't know that.
You have to
Wow.
think, like a little kid can't give a heart to a grown man.
Right,
It's too
that's
tiny.
true, yeah.
Grown man, it wouldn't fit in, a little kid's body.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Size.
Because it might be just stressed out the rest of the body.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
right.
Okay.
And we only have so much room in our body for an organ. We've got a lot of other things happening. And then location. Once we take those organs out of the body and place them on a machine, they only live so long on that machine to get it from person A all the way to person
Oh.
B. So we don't have endless time. So certain organs can only live for a certain amount of hours on those organs.
Hours.
Yes.
Not like days or so. When you see the like movies where you see them with the cooler and they're like, go, go, go. It's like really like that. They're getting in helicopters and everything. It's really like that.
Absolutely. A lot more medical than just a cooler.
yes, but that's how we talk.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's like in
But
the-
yes, they put them on this machine, they hop into a helicopter, and they move them where they need to go.
Yeah.
Certain organs only live 6 hours. Even if we have a jet, we can't go very
Yeah,
far
I
in
know.
6 hours. So then you're looking, sickest person. All right, so there's 100,000 sick people right now waiting for a transplant. All right, well, now we're just looking at the people that need a kidney, all right, that are A blood type, that
Okay.
live in the Jacksonville region. All
Okay.
right, well, there's your list now.
Wow.
That's what we're looking at. So when someone passes away, who's the match to that sickest person?
Okay. Wow. I didn't know all of this stuff. This is so informative.
Yeah.
Well, and with my situation, because my health declined so fast, I did get bumped up,
Okay.
Okay.
and so that's
Like they
exactly
prioritize the situation.
Yes.
So it might, you might have 2 weeks to live, which is not a lot of time, but compared to someone who has 3 days to live,
Yeah.
you've got a while. So
Yeah.
you're lower on that list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so if someone
God.
dies and they're not the same blood type, body size nearby, if they don't match, we can't give it to the sickest person because they don't match. We have to
Move
go
down
down
the list.
until we find that match.
Oh my God. What a.
So, Cassie, what has this taught you about time and gratitude?
Well, our lives are not, they're not promised. So, every day was a day that I almost didn't have.
Yeah.
So I really try to, I try to live in the present moment with all the stresses of life, but I really appreciate things like just being able to take a shower,
Yeah. Absolutely.
and just being able to drive my daughter to school, and because even now there's hospital stays, there's maintenance stuff that I have to do, but on the days that I feel good and I can do everything I need to do, I'm very grateful for that.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Jessica, what do you have to say to that when you hear her say that?
I fully agree. That's a whole nother perspective on life.
Yeah.
There's so many things that we take for granted every day, and there's people that are desperately waiting,
Yeah.
hoping. You don't want someone to die ever, absolutely.
Ever, yeah.
But you do want to live, and you want to have this full life. And so this gratitude of like, the sun is shining, and what a beautiful world we live in.
So
true.
let's talk about April. Yes, we're early on this convo, but we want to plant the seeds. We want to inspire people. Talk about the importance of this month.
Yeah, so April is National Donate Life Awareness Month. We want people to realize the value of organ donation. When was the last time you talked about this with your family, with your kids, with your parents? What are their opinions? Is there something you're curious about? It's time to do that kind of research. And there's going to be events all over the community really bringing awareness about organ donation.
I'm going to ask you a hard question
Yeah.
because I really want to know why people say no.
Yeah, so there's a big There's a handful of reasons that I hear the most often. The biggest one in our area that I'm hearing is, will medical personnel save me? If I register yes, will they save my life?
That's a good point.
They feel
Okay.
like, no, they're not going to try to save my life because I'm a donor because they want to harvest my organs. Like, I don't think it's like a, I don't want to say the word cold, but it's,
Well-
I think it's like, no, because they took an oath, doctors and medical staff. Like, they have to do whatever they have to do to try to save your life. You know?
Yeah, so that's the biggest one that I hear. But again, doctors' goal is to help and heal
Yeah.
and save lives. But legally, the hospital system doesn't have access to know if you register yes or no as an organ donor.
Right.
Now, if your first thought is like, sure, can't they just look at my driver's license? You know, if they say yes to organ donation, they put a little heart on your ID.
Right.
That doesn't work anymore for two reasons. One is because in the state of Florida, and most of the states now, you can opt out of putting the heart on your ID. Yes, I want to be an organ donor. Don't put the heart on my ID. It makes me nervous. And a lot of people are choosing that.
Interesting.
The other piece is we live in a digital world. This paper copy ID can't keep up with us anymore. I'm an organ donor. I have a heart on my ID. I can unregister. Well, I'm not going to go stand in line at the tax collector's
Right.
office, get a new ID printed, because I might change my mind tomorrow or the next day. So this paper copy can't keep up with this digital world. So yes, theoretically, the hospital, doctors, nurses, ambulance, whomever could look at your ID, but it might not be accurate. So the only people that know if you registered would be the OPO once we come in, once the person has already passed away.
What does OPO stand for again?
Organ Procurement Organization.
Procurement. Very interesting.
So, Cassie, I've got to ask you, or actually talk to our Sonnies really quick. If there's someone on the fence right now, not sure if they want to be an organ donor, can you convince them to be one?
I mean, you could save a life with your decision. So, I mean, my life was saved, and I have a almost 16-year-old daughter.
Amazing.
So, yeah, I think it's such an important decision, and you know, why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Jessica, how hard is it to register?
It is not hard at all. It should take about a minute. You can go to donatelifeflorida.org. There's a big button that says register here.
Okay.
Click that button and you fill out pretty much your name, address, that contact information. Takes about a minute and a half, and you are all set to go.
And if there is somebody out there that is also on the fence and really kind of needs your words of inspiration, what would you say to them?
I want you to think about it on the other side. There's a 1% chance that you will die in the way to be an organ donor. There is a much higher percentage you might need something someday.
Right.
Or your family or your friends might need something. So kind of think of it from the other side of the coin too. You blow your ACL, you might need tendons and ligaments.
That's me.
You-
I have in my right knee, I have a cadaver, how do you say it?
Yeah.
A piece of there in my ligament.
Something special.
See?
Yeah.
Something that was my something borrowed for my wedding.
But a lot of dental work is donor gum and tissue.
Oh.
You don't know when a friend might get sick and need a
Yeah.
kidney. So really thinking of it on the other side of, okay, 1% chance I could donate, but there's a really good chance I might know someone or I might need something in the future. So you kind of have to think both sides of this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Ladies, thank you so much for your
Yes.
time today. Can you give me one more shout out on where people can find more information and sign up?
Yeah, absolutely. Go to www.donatelifeflorida.org. There you can register as an organ donor and find more information about organ donation. If you're still on the fence or just kind of curious about what we were talking about, go there. There's a lot of facts that you can learn about donation and educate yourself and your family.
Fantastic. Thank you both again.
Yes.
That was such a moving story. I mean, Mel, I am absolutely floored.
Guys, like the whole time when Cassie was talking,
Yeah.
I know you like the camera's on the ladies, but I'm just like in my mind, I'm just picturing this like mom and dad of the 17-year-old girl, and they're like, "Oh my God, she's getting sick," or what do we
I
do?
kept thinking about her family too.
Yeah, and then these organ donors were able to give her the opportunity. And then I'm thinking of her like visually. I got a visual of her laying in the hospital bed with like the beta iodine, or whatever it's called. And then hearing, okay, well, we could only get one, we have to send you home. And like my heart just sank,
Yeah.
you know, and it was an easy decision for me when I was like, yeah, I want to be an organ donor. But hearing this story, like, just confirms the fact that I made the right decision.
God bless you,
Because,
yeah.
you know, it gives me an opportunity. I don't know, you know, my life could end, I could walk across the street. You never know, but it could give someone an opportunity for it to carry on. And like I said, you see the movies and news stories where somebody got an organ, or there was a story particularly stuck with me. This teenager got a heart from a younger gentleman in his 20s that had passed away. They were able to get him the heart because he ended up high on the list. And the mother and the father, the man was able to somehow contact the family on the son's wedding day when he
Wow.
was, I think he ended up being 25 on his wedding day. And he's like, I want to give your son a gift for the wedding. And goes, and he's like, I have your son's heart.
Wow.
So on the wedding day, the mother completely melted. I melted because I'm thinking, oh my God, they still get to, and they maintain contacts with him to this day.
Ugh.
That's amazing.
And like you guys, that's what it's about. It's about if you're in a position to help someone, like Jessica said, you may never get the call that your organs were donated, or you may not end up being a donor, but at least you're doing something, because doing something is better than nothing.
To make it
So,
available. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the mission and the miracle, Sonnies.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Guys, we're going to take a quick break with Maritime Creative and Flashes and Brilliance.
And get some tissues.